everybody. Welcome to today's open forum. It's our exciting time of the year again. Every 6 months we do this, just for those of you who don't know, and that is goal setting. So we're going to talk today about some of the goals that you guys set at the beginning of the year. Those of you who have joined us since then or missed our goal setting, we do this every 6 months or so. We do this every 6 months. We do it at the beginning of the year, and then we do it before July starts. And with the new forms coming out, should be later this week or next week, we are going to be busy with that, I'm sure, for the next few weeks. So I wanted to go ahead and knock this out of the way. But I want to talk about where you guys are. We are 5 months and 2 weeks into the new year. So let's see what we got for you guys' goals. And I'm going to share something with you, one of my goals, and some success I've had with that. So let's hear what you guys have done. And then we'll talk about what we're doing and how we're doing it. Who's got something they would like to share? Those of you who don't know about SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based are the way that you set goals. I don't know if you guys can read that on your screens. Make the goal specific and narrow for more efficient planning. Make sure your goal and progress are measurable. Make sure that you can reasonably accomplish your goal with a certain time frame. Your goal should align with your values and long-term objectives, and set a realistic but ambitious end date to clarify task prioritization and increase motivation. So it gives you some motivation in the morning. I recommend putting these goals, writing them down somewhere where you can see them frequently. Put it in lipstick on your bathroom mirror, whatever you've got. Put it somewhere where you can see it, and see it often. And make sure it's what you want. You know, do something that you want. And the one thing they don't have on here is reward. Give yourself a reward when you hit your goals. I mean, there's satisfaction that comes with it, and you get to brag about it, which I'm going to do in a little bit. But you give yourself a reward too. Let's hear about somebody's goals, something they've accomplished, and how they did it, if you don't mind sharing. Love it. Okay, so we have 35 people, which is great for a goal setting one. I know I always joke with you guys, this is one of our lowest attended ones of the year, because people, they don't like to hear about goals. They don't like to set goals. It's accountability, and nobody likes accountability. So, but you're holding yourself accountable, and you only have to share if you want to brag about something, or if you want to say you got close, or you got an idea how you can do better. Or if you just have a goal that you're halfway working toward because it was for the whole year.
So Ryan, this is Rakesh. I can share something.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I mean, first of all, coming from the corporate side, I think it's really good that I see this. I thought this industry is not that structured, but I really see you sharing this. But I have set myself goal, obviously, to double my sales from last year. I think I'm progressing toward that. And also, I want to achieve a CCM certification as well. So I started on that as well. And really also, I think knowing a lot of people in FRI and outside as well, industry I see is definitely coming back. I think the high interest rate and the hard times looks like going to be behind us. So I mean, I think those are the things I am working towards, making sure that I stay on target on my continuous education, continue to look at ways how can I leverage the AI and other opportunities for the marketing and sales growth, and also learning. I was at one of the Aura event in Daytona Beach last month. That was very good. I attended a few training sessions there. It was very valuable. So just wanted to share some of my thoughts.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rakesh. And you brought up a really great point, and that's why this is, so you guys know, like, this is from an Indeed website. If you're in the corporate world, they have these goal setting sessions and mandatory meetings and all of this stuff. Guys, you need this way more than someone in the corporate world needs it. Corporate world, they have bosses upon bosses upon bosses who hold you accountable. You guys are on your own. You are the CEO of your business, your little or big real estate business. You are the CEO of it. And I don't care if you have a team leader, if you have whatever, you're still in charge of yourself. You need to have goals that you do. Rakesh, I love that. What I hear though, what I'm hearing from you is that you want to get your CCIM, which is great. And you have a date set in mind.
Yeah.
But a lot of your other stuff is not specific. A lot of your other stuff is I want to attend more trainings. And I want to do this and that. Set your, and this is great. You need to know kind of when trainings are and how often they are and where they are and stuff like that. But say I want to train, I want to attend 3 a month. I want to attend 2 a month or 1 a month or whatever it is, because you want to get better every day, right? You see all these, it's been a lot lately. I want to get 1% better every day, right? Everybody, you see this on social media and stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I follow a lot of these people, obviously, to stay on top of what's going on. But you want to get 1% better every day. Obviously, that's not measurable. I mean, it sounds great, but it's not measurable. But what you need to do is set specific and measurable goals, and obviously achievable, relevant, time-based. But specific and measurable is where people really struggle. I want to get better. And so what we do is we say, okay, I did 12 deals last year. I want to do 18 this year. Okay. But we don't talk about the things that how are you going to? Are you going to just get 50% luckier? What are you going to do to get those extra 6 deals? Your same 12 that you got plus 6 more. What are you going to do? I mean, that's 50% more, right? What are we going to do to get 50% better? Where are your deals coming from? And we talk about this every 6 months. So I'm sorry for those of you who hear this every 6 months, but where are these deals coming from? Where are my strengths? Where are my weaknesses? Are my weaknesses costing me deals? And if they're not, then you can put them aside. You're not going to be great at everything. Be great at what you're great at and explore that and how I can do better. If you're getting these from being in your PTA club, or you're getting these from being in the gardening club, or you're getting these from, being a soccer dad or mom, then explore that. Keep going with that. Put your kid in more sports. Whatever it is, which wear the kid out. But no, meet more people, investigate those, your sphere more carefully, and try harder at what you're good at. So find out what you're good at, analyze yourself, and then you can set specific and measurable goals and know if they're achievable. Yes, Natalie, you're on mute, Natalie. You're still on mute.
Here we go.
There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I have a little bit different goal I set at the beginning of the year, and it was to do 64 open houses in 2024. And I tracked them. I put the date, the address, who came in, and I highlight the ones, there's 2 of them on there, that have closed. So unfortunately, we're halfway through the year and I've only done like 14 or 15. So instead of 64 in 2024, I'm going to go for 34 in 2024.
Okay. That's good. So you're taking, I'm not going to say it wasn't achievable. It would have been hard.
Yeah.
But you're adjusting it, but you're still doing more in the second half than you did the first half. Now you need 20.
Right. I'm going to step it up.
How do you feel like you've done?
I mean, I've been going on cruises and I've been having some fun on the weekends, so it is my fault. But yeah, I'm going to focus more the second half.
That's fine. That's fine. So 64, I mean, I would say that's aggressive. That's more than 1 day every weekend.
I know.
That's 1 day every weekend plus 12. So,
right.
And you've got holidays and you've got everything else in there, plus your vacations and stuff like that. You're doing a day and a half every weekend that you're available, probably.
Right.
So that's a lot.
But I wanted to set a high goal. You
right.
Always go shoot for the,
Right. And plus you're going to have showings and stuff like that on weekends too. So this is very difficult, but that's good. And now maybe for next year, you'll set it a little differently. Because 64 is it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
There's only 104 weekend days in a year. You've got showings, you've got this, you've got, kids and this and that. So, I mean, family in town and everything else. So it's a lot, but you're adjusting it, which is fine. great, to more than what you've done so far, which is good.
Yeah.
So you're going to step it up in the second half. Go ahead.
I also was over in Melbourne over the weekend. I went to an open house because I do go to open houses when I'm in different areas, which I think is helpful. Mm-hmm. And they've got, I think, Blue Dolphin or Blue Marlin Realty over there. And the girl was telling me that they have contests to see how many open houses. And the girl last month had done 18 open houses in 1 month. Like, wow. They're doing them Friday, Saturday, Sunday over in Brevard County and Satellite Beach. Wow. They're just, and I mean, everywhere I went, I saw their signs, and it's like they do competitions.
Well, if she did 18, she's doing more than Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 4 times.
Yeah. So they do like 2 in a day, like from 12 to 2, and then from like 3 to 5.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Well,
so they're hardcore over there.
Well, 64 doesn't sound so bad.
I know. I'm like, wow.
No, but that's great. So tell me about what's that doing for you? So, you know, people work open houses, whatever. You guys, this is kind of not a great thing. Yeah, Jika says it must work. Yes, of course it does. But this is not great, because it kind of irritates me about you guys. And as much as I love you and root for you and try to help you when you call me and you're upset about, you know, however things are going. And you guys, we have had Ann offered one that I think it went unanswered. She had one in Lake Nona. I mean, I don't know what you guys want, those of you Orlando based, other than a Lake Nona thing. I mean, you know, it's a great area. She had an open house, and I don't know if anybody worked that or not. But I put it on, or you put it on our Facebook group, and nobody responded. Or I put it on there. I put it in a comment. But guys, there's open houses available. But tell me a little bit, Natalie, about how it's worked for you.
Well, I'm going to change some things. I'm going to go get my name on my open house signs. I have them, but it's written in a Sharpie at the bottom. And I just I got to clean it up a little bit more. But I think it's really good because you're out there. People see your signs. The listing that I have right now is because I had sold a house or a townhome in Lake Nona in Meridian Parks there. And they got me because I had sold that one. And they saw my signs when I would do open houses, and they wanted a realtor they had an option of using their realtor who lives in Tampa that helped them get this townhome, or a local realtor that knows the neighborhood. So they see my signs. I got to get my name bigger, but I get listings that way. You get buyers that way, obviously. I think it's great just to be out there.
Yeah, guys, you rarely sell the house that you're in when you do it, but you get buyer. I mean, do you guys want to meet people who are interested in houses, and then put your sign up around people's neighborhood to show that? Natalie, what a great example that is of why Natalie. Why Natalie? You have a relationship with somebody in Tampa, and everybody needs a why Natalie, or a why Rakesh, or a why Sanjeev, or why Malvis, right? Everybody needs that, and that's one of the basic trainings that we do is why you. Why should anybody use you when you can't sling a dead cat around here without hitting a realtor anywhere in Florida? And why should somebody pick you? Obviously, you haven't been in the business longer than everybody. You had, whatever it is, maybe you don't have you're not the prettiest or the most handsome or the this or the that, or whatever you think your weaknesses are in this business. You're not the most of that. But something you can stand out in. And in Natalie's case, she stood out as the local expert. That is brilliant. That is what people want. They want someone who is going to be better than everyone else, because they can pick anybody. And they have a realtor already. Those people, if you ask them, they say, oh, I've got a great guy he's over in Tampa. He's a great realtor, right? Then why did you use Natalie? Because she knows the area better than anybody else. Why Natalie? Right? That's brilliant. I love that. What else? So what we do, guys, for this, and those of you who've seen it before will remember, I draw back from what I'm very analytical. So I take Natalie's result of getting 2 listings and 2 sales out of this, or whatever they are, and how many open houses did she have to work to get those, right? So if she wants to sell 8 more houses this year, and she's had 2 in 6 months off of 14 open houses, then how many does she need to do to get 8? Whatever 14 times 4 is, right? Or she needs to get more productive in certain ways. So what else can she do to make the open houses that she has more? I think 2 sales out of 14 open houses is great, by the way. But what can she do to make them more productive? Can she go around and go door to door, maybe 2 days earlier and do different things around that neighborhood and go and meet everybody and invite them personally to it? Nobody likes the looky-loos from next door, but they want to see, you guys know this, they want to see, they heard that they got some walls taken down and did something else in there, and they did a remodel, and they want to see how it looks and how it works if they weren't good friends with them, right? But all these things that you can do to improve the efficiency of what you're doing. But how many open houses, if she gets 2 more and she wants 6, let's say she wants 6 more sales in 2024, she's gotten 2 off of 14. 14 times 3 is 42. So she needs to do 42 in 2025 if she wants to get 6 more sales. Does that make sense? So that's what I want you breaking it down. Now, if she wants to do 42, what does that mean she needs to do? What's 42 divided by 12? 3.5. She needs to do 3.5. So pretty much she needs to do 1 every weekend, right? Because 42, you take out the odd weekends, the Christmas and Thanksgiving and all these things where people aren't, looking for houses. And she needs to do, or she doesn't have family in town, or she's not on a cruise or whatever. So that's 10 weekends a year. She doesn't need to do 1, but otherwise she needs to average 1 a weekend. And she can do 2 a weekend here and 2 a weekend there. But that's what she needs to do to sell 6 more homes. That's just going off of those numbers if you don't do anything different. Does that make sense? So extrapolate these numbers back to what you want to do. And we talked about a couple of weeks ago, you have to, in this day and age, most of you have to, unless you've got some great single source of deals, you have to piece together your different aspects of your life that you do. Your social media marketing, your this, your that, you get a couple off the PTA, you get a couple off of open houses, you get a couple off of this, couple off of that. And that's how you end up with 24 deals or 36 deals or 48 deals, right? So you get some off of different things. So figure out little ways that you can add 3 deals here and 6 deals there and 2 deals there. And if Natalie can do just 6 off of open houses, and guys, what are your average, the average house these days is $400 and something thousand. And you're going to get, let's say 2.5% commission, 2.75 on average. That's 13 grand a deal. If she gets 6 off of open houses times 13, that's $78,000 in 12 months off of doing 42 open houses. That's working. I'm not going to say that's working, because you got to show the houses and do everything else. But that's 4 days a month. That's 3.5 days a month of open houses, 3.5 open houses a month, not even days. And then showing the houses and selling the houses. That's your business. That is what we do. That is why we do it. So set your goals, figure out how you're getting deals, and go back and figure out how you can be more proficient doing it. Okay. If you're getting some off of calling, then set up a time every day to call. Set up a time every other day to call. Whatever it is you're doing and getting deals. And I'm sorry, you had your hand up.
No, I'm just asking where I can do the sign like Natalie. Would you mind to share the information? The open house sign?
You guys, they're just the regular red white sign that says open house with an arrow. And with a Sharpie, I just put my name at the bottom. I think Malvis was just saying you can get them on Amazon. I think I got mine at Aura.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm looking into making like my own open house sign.
Oh, I thought that you make your own. Okay.
No, these are just your red and white open house signs with the house. It's cut out of a house, says open house. And I just write my name, phone number, and FRI at the bottom.
I got mine at Aura too, and they were pretty cheap there, but you can also order them on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon's got great stuff like riders and stuff like that we've ordered before. Now, we have open house signs that we will let you borrow with a deposit, because you guys don't like to return them, but we'll let you borrow them. And but I like that. Maybe it looks a little more professional. And if you're thinking about ordering from Quick Signs or something like that, or even I'm sure there's a vendor on Amazon or something like that will do it for you, and it's not that expensive. But yeah, that's great. That's absolutely wonderful.
My only concern, Ryan, is with this whole buyer's agreement coming up and, down the pipe, you know, we're going to be doing open houses and we get to tell buyers about that.
So what, guys? So
I know
what?
I'm going to be
It's
doing
the-
that spiel. I want to sell the house, but I'm like, okay, and by the way, let me let you in on something about what's going on in the real estate world.
Es la ley. It's the law. They've got to sign it now. That's the
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
That's the tough luck. Tough.
So
I mean, it's nothing. It's what you do. It's part of
I
the
know.
process.
It's going to be education. So you're going to be educating buyers too as they come into open houses.
You ever ask people to take their shoes off when they come in somebody's house?
No.
You never had an open house where people said we don't wear shoes in the house? You ever had that?
I showed houses that have a note at the front door. Yeah.
Yeah,
Please
Same
remove.
thing. Same thing. Same thing. It's not optional anymore. And you have to check and make sure they don't write Donald Duck like they do on the, you know, the sign-in sheet. You know, they don't have to put their real email address or whatever, but they do have to fill one out. And that is tough luck. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You know, the single showing, open house sheet, maybe we'll have something like that eventually. Guys, I have no idea. You can ask me if you want to, but I'm not going to be able to answer when we're going to have our own forms. And I'm not sure that we will. It depends on what happens from the state. I told you before, we probably would have our own. But some of the things that we've talked about, we've talked to our attorney about. Last week, you guys know, we talked about how do you enforce the buyer brokerage agreement. What if you get to closing the day before closing and the buyer looks over the settlement statement and says, I'm not paying this. And you know, is the form going to make it a condition of closing? Because that's what we need to have. And we will have that. If it does not, we're going to have that in our form. Even if we use the FAR bar, we'll put it in additional terms. Paying the buyer brokerage fee is a condition of closing. Because otherwise we're not chasing them after closing for that. And we'll absolutely send it to the title company and say, absolutely, they're not closing without this money because they owe it to us. You know, so that's a matter of that. We're going to do that, guys. It's tough luck. It's the law now. That's how we get paid. You guys working for free? Awesome. We're not, and it's only $175 or $350, but we're not working for free. We're getting paid. You guys are getting paid, but we're going to make sure that you do by making people sign stuff. It's tough luck. That's how it's what you want. The people have spoken if that's what they wanted, which they didn't because they didn't care, but that's what they got. It's a, you know, you go to anything where you've got to sign a form before you do it. You got to do it. You go take a helicopter ride, you got to sign the waiver, right? I mean, it's life. You don't sign the waiver, you don't go. I mean, it's going to be single at open houses. It's not going to be a 9-month agreement with you to buy them a house. It's going to be a single showing agreement, you know. But that's what they've got to do now. And I mean, I guess they can, you know, they're not going to get away with Donald Duck, but they can put their neighbor's name on that, you know, and you're not going to check their ID, but they got to sign it. And that's your only job, is to make sure they sign it. If they lie, they lie. You know, who cares? If they don't want to buy and they're going to lie to you, then let them lie to you. But there'll probably be open house. I'm sure they'll come out with an open house form that, you know, and hopefully a place to put their name and email. And if not, we'll do that. Okay, I've got stuff going on in the chat. It's hold on a second. That she got her aura. Comes will make it a negative rating in social media when you have an upset buyer. Tough. What are they going to say, Sanjeev? That he made me sign a form? That's the law, and you just go on there and say it's a law. That's the rules now. Okay. Where were we? Oh, you guys want to hear me brag? So that's why you tuned in today, to hear me brag. That's why you guys come every week. I love it. I don't get to brag much on here, but I'm going to. So I had a goal for physical fitness for myself, not for all of you guys, just for myself. And I was at a 23% body fat at the beginning of the year. And I am now at 14.8. My goal was 15 by the end of 2024, and I have already reached it 5.5 months in. So I am very excited about that, and I'm going to reward myself with probably eating badly. But I honestly, I will say that I slacked. I didn't come up with a good reward before I started, so I don't know what I'm going to do. But I feel like I reward myself all the time. So yeah, I've lost 22 pounds and put on muscle, and it's been great. So I'm very excited. But that's mine. That was my goal that I set, and it was specific, measurable, obviously achievable, relevant, and time-based. And it was overly achievable because I've already reached it. So now I can afford to put on some fat. But I'm going to keep going. So now I've adjusted that one. Now I also have, we talk about with you guys goals, and obviously I have professional goals that I don't really share with you guys. A lot of it is around you. You don't need extra pressure. But the way we make more money at FRI, I get asked this question a lot. A lot of you asked me when you joined, like, so wait, 350, and that's all the money you guys get? Yeah, no other fees, no other fees. You guys know that because you've been here. There's no other fees. 350. Yep. No E&O, no this, no that. How do you guys make it? A lot of you guys ask me that before you join. I get that question all the time. And obviously it's off volume. There's 1,000 of you guys plus. But that's the way we make money, is add agents and add efficiency and more productivity to the agents we have, which is why we're here today, which is why I do these goal things. It's why I help you guys when you call me, and it's why we have a marketing coordinator to help you guys with your social media. If you guys aren't familiar with that, those of you who are newer, Michelle Machado, she's on this call right now, and she will always help you with your social media, anything like that. That's all free. If you want her to do extra stuff for us, she can do that off the clock for you guys, and you can pay her for that. But for just your social media stuff and everything else, you just need help with stuff, you need some ideas, she's great with all that stuff. So that's Michelle, and she's available for you guys. She's a resource. So, but that's all to make you guys more productive. When you're more productive, we make a little more money. We don't get rich off of you, as you know, but we make a little more money. So that's what we do. And so we have goals that are on that. And the longer you guys stay with us and the happier you are with us, the more money we make. So those are part of my goals as well. So we have very specific and measurable, achievable, relevant, time-based. As you guys know, we passed 1,000 agents 3 or 4 months ago. And that was a big goal for us. And we're well on our way to our next goal. So that's those are things that I do for my business. And that's the business that we're in. So it's very relevant for me as it is for you guys. And as Rakesh pointed out earlier, it's so much more important when you're running your own business and you're not in the corporate world. Rakesh could tell you that when he was in the corporate world, they have these goal meetings. They have all these things that people are supposed to do, and they encourage you to set ones for your family and your finances and your health and everything else. And this doesn't have to be, it could be, your religion or your spirituality goals. It can be any of that kind of stuff. Malvis, how can I help you? You're on mute. There you are. Go ahead.
I just want to brag just like you.
Awesome.
Because this is a safe environment to brag. I also lost 20 pounds. So I'm very proud of myself. This has nothing to do with whatchamacall, the business part, but it's the result of the business part. So last year, one of my goals was also to lose some weight and to spend some money on myself. So I lost 20 pounds, and I went and I got myself Invisalign. Remember, Ryan, when I said that my teeth were crooked and I didn't want to do videos?
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to be 50 years old, and I am going to, I've done spend money on my husband, on my children, and I kind of leave myself for last. So I'm like, no, this year is going to be Malvis' turn. And so I went out to my dentist and I got Invisalign, and I have my goals right here written in my wall. This time they're not ghetto looking. I type them instead of and so far I have met 3 of my goals. One of them being, fixing my teeth, my smile, going on vacation, which I just came back last Friday, and also doing a little bit more deals. And I'm not talking about money-wise. I am talking about deal-wise. And I also, last year, I made myself conscious that I needed to be more intentional with my business, and I have been. And like you always said, Ryan, activity brings success. By being more intentional, I mean I have been more targeted about talking about what I do with coworkers, with people that I meet on the street or at McDonald's or in a restaurant. I have been more intentionally talking to people about real estate and what I do. And I have also been more intentional with my husband, making him develop, my husband is an AC technician, by the way, if anybody needs help. So when my husband has a client and he goes to do a service call, or he goes to do an installation of AC unit, I have given him the task to, every time you go to a house, you give the card to that client. And you tell the client, if you ever consider selling or buying, if you're not a homeowner, my wife is a realtor. And so that has been done. And because of all of this intention, I don't even know if that's a word, intentionality or intention, I have been doing it. I have gotten 3 little deals, just rentals, Ryan, not a lot of money, not money at all, because it's just rentals only pay you what, $100, $200 the most. But I got a listing. I got a rental listing that I will be putting soon in the market that's going to pay me more. And I got to meet 3 different families that hopefully they use me in the future. But if not, at least I help them. So transaction wise, I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 so far. And I got 1 listing out of that, talking to people, and it's already under contract. So to go back to you, Ryan, activity does bring success. Thank you.
It does. It absolutely does, and that's wonderful. You got to have your little stickers made for your real estate, like AC companies do when they come service your AC. They stick their sticker on there. He's got to get some Malvis stickers for that. Just stick them in on the AC. Put them on the wall. No, but that's great. Yeah, you got your number one employee out there working for you. That's fantastic. I'm sure. Don't tell him though, because he's going to want some of the money. He wants to spend it on him. But I'm sure he does. I'm very excited for you, Malvis. That is awesome. Malvis, guys, if you don't know, has been here with us for quite a while, and she just gets better and better every year. And so that is awesome, Malvis. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see your videos. So now you've got it. Go get those videos.
Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, Ryan, I did talk to the person that is going to be doing my video. But I even have buttons in my teeth, and I have rubbers. So I can't pronounce the words correctly, and I look weird. So as soon as I am done with my treatment, that is actually part of my goal that I have written down here on the wall. It says, make an introductional professional video for my personal page. So when Invisalign is over, count on you'll see that video on there.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that. That is fantastic. Good job. And so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about something she brought up, and that needs to be part of you guys' goals too, is the follow-up on these. And the reason I said that is because she's talking about not necessarily, I mean, you guys need to have financial goals as well, and you can put dollars on those. But I like the transaction goals also, and the follow-up goals, because that's what it happens. You know, when you do these little deals, and the rentals turn into buyers, they do, and they refer people to you. And, people who work with people like Malvis, people like Natalie, they love them because they're so sweet and so nice, and a lot nicer than I am. They're so sweet and so nice, and they love them, and they'll refer them to people, both as the local expert, and then they get to know Natalie. And even though they're like Natalie's person who has the realtor in Tampa, these people got to know Natalie from working with her locally, and now they'll refer her locally to their local people. Now when they refer people to a realtor, they'll refer them, if they're local, to the local expert they know, which is Natalie, which is awesome. So these people are going to refer you. They're going to use you again. They're going to refer you. And I'm talking about I've talked to you guys a lot about the 28-year-old couple who just got married, and they buy a house with you, and it's just a starter home, a $300,000 house. Well, every 5 to 7 years, those people on average are going to move, and they're going to buy their next house. They're going to have a kid. They just got married. Now they're going to have a kid, and then they're going to have their second kid in a couple of years. They're going to need a bigger place. And then they're going to want to put their kids in good schools for middle school. And they're going to want to move again and buy again. And they're going to sell, and you're going to sell and buy their houses every time. So that $300,000 house in 5 years is going to be worth $425,000, and you're going to sell it for them, and you're going to buy them their $500,000 house. and their $500,000 house, when their kids get in middle school 5 years later, that $500,000 house is going to sell for $650, and they're going to buy a $725 because now they're 12 years into their career and they're growing and growing and growing, and then eventually either you're going to be retired and referring them out to somebody, or they're going to, if you're their age, they're going to be downsizing when they're in their 70s to a little condo somewhere in a retirement community or something, but you're going to sell their last house and buy them that one. Those people are not worth the $9,000 you make the first time. Those people are worth $100,000, plus they're going to have kids, plus they're going to have friends who they're going to refer you to. And guys, these people, the follow-up is so important. As you guys know, and I quote it all the time, that NAR stat of 3 years after buying, less than 30% of buyers could remember their agent's name. That's how bad your follow-up is. Less than 30% after 3 years could remember their agent's name. So you guys have got to follow up. That's 70% of people, and even the 30% remember their name wouldn't necessarily work with them again. They just remembered their name. I would remember somebody's name after 3 years, and if I hadn't been hearing from them, I wouldn't use them again. How does that make you feel when you use an agent or someone? Imagine using someone for something like that, watching them walk off with $13,000 and never hearing from them again. Were they in it for you, or were they in it for the commission? Right? So what if you hear from them everybody's birthday and every holiday, and don't forget to your homestead exemption and this and that, and just so you guys know, insurance rates are supposed to come down. They added 8 new carriers. Hit all of your clients with that. Guys, I know property insurance is bad right now, but we've just added 8 new carriers in Florida. So next time, make sure you shop it. Really, Malvis, is there something, are you looking for our business? No, I don't do insurance. I'm just letting you know. Make sure you shop it as a service to you guys. I'm letting my clients know that. Right? What's next for you guys, by the way? How are you doing? What's next for you? Right? So check in with it. Oh, well, Luke graduates high school this year, and he's our last one. We're going to be empty nesters. We're thinking about maybe trying to get on a golf course somewhere. We picked up pickleball and golf. So we're thinking about, whatever it is, whatever stage in their life they're at. That's what's next for them. So be sure you're doing this, but set goals on following up with people. And we've got some exciting news that's going to help you guys with that. I can't announce it yet, but it's going to be helping you guys with that. And we've got some exciting news coming up about that. Anybody else have anything? Anybody else have anything to share? Your social media marketing. Set goals for guys. Videos is where it's at, but make sure you're getting on there. And if you don't like your face, make sure you're narrating your video so people can get your voice. And video editing and all this stuff is not hard to do. It's very, very simple. It doesn't have to be rocket science, guys. It doesn't have to be a beautiful video. Some of you guys do make beautiful videos, but it doesn't have to be a beautiful video. Get out there and set, maybe you're struggling, maybe you have nothing going on. Get out there and drive your local communities, your local new home builds. Get out there and show the empty lots that they're doing. And if you don't want to be on video, interview Maria in the office, interview Ben in the office, and find out what lots they have available and what their specials they're doing right now, what kind of incentives they're offering, right? Do you tell them about this? Great, we have 2 lots left over the conservation area. You got beautiful views. If you like the woods, if you like this and that, whatever it is, right? And show videos of that. Just drive around in your car. You don't have to put yourself on there if you don't want to. You're all beautiful, and you should. And if you're not beautiful, they're going to find out eventually because they're going to meet you. So it doesn't matter. Put yourself on your video and get out there, or don't put yourself on a video. Either way, but videos are what sells, guys. And get it out there on your social media, and get going with that. Any questions or comments, or anybody else want to brag or cry or anything? Lavette.
Okay, you guys look great. And I did not lose weight, but what I did was gain more time for real estate. I've been working every day, half the day, and it kind of tied me up where I didn't have the time to really do real estate. And I did not want to quit the job or give it up. 14 years of massage therapy is my second love. And so, because I'm getting benefits which help with taxes, I get some 401k. I get paid for my Social Security and Medicare, so I did not want to give that up. But I needed more time to do real estate, and so the boss, he asked me if I wanted to get paid per massage rather than come in every 5 hours a day, per massage. And that would still tie me up. I didn't like that. And so I offer, how about I go on 2 days? So right now I am doing massages Thursday, Friday, which free me up now so I can get to do real estate and do some open house. So that's my big thing there.
Wonderful. And so now, did you set goals for your real estate at the beginning of the year? Or, you know, it doesn't have to be the beginning of the year, guys. It can be any time. But
Yeah.
did you set goals?
Well, it's not setting goal if it's in your head, so.
Okay. Okay. So now it's time. So now it's time. So you don't have to adjust it because it was in your head. So you don't have to go erase something and write over it. But now that you have more time, you need to set higher goals for yourself. Now that you have the ability to do open houses, set open house goals. Now that you have the ability to show and do all that stuff, set different goals for different things you want to do. Plus, I would imagine with only working 2 days instead of 5, you need a little bit more money. So you need to up your goals some, and you need to find out what you need and what you want and work it back from there. If you need to work, you don't really know yet how many open houses you'll need to work to make a certain amount of sales or a certain amount of money, but you'll figure that out in the next 6 months. So set something from now to the end of the year that you want to work. Well, we know Natalie did it. She's worked 14 open houses this year, and she's been on cruises and stuff, and she thinks she can do 20 more by the end of the year. So maybe make yours 20 by the end of the year.
Okay. Now I have I have a potential listing, but since it is in Jacksonville, I was going to call you. I might as well talk to you about it now. Does Stella covers that, or do I have to join some?
No. So Jacksonville's interesting. So Northeast Florida, we are a member there. And so you can call them. You could join if you want to, if they'll offer you so guys, there's such a thing as secondary memberships with boards where you don't have to pay the NAR and FAR again, obviously, because you're already a member of NAR and FAR. So you would join as a local member there only, and some have MLS only. But that particular association, I know, will list it for you. You guys ever see listings that say out of town realtor or something like, what does it say? Out of area realtor or something like that. It says those are
or non-stellar members.
Non-stellar members. Thank you. But that's what it is. It's an agent from Miami or something who's paid the board to list it for them. When you put a listing in, it'll say, are you at your office or the association? So that's for people. The association one is for the people who work at the association to put a listing in for you. So Jacksonville will charge you, I think it's $200, something like that, to put a listing in for you. A lot of boards will do that. Some won't. So like I think the Space Coast, you have to join them, but it's only like $93 a quarter or something like that. So it used to be, it's probably, that was 5 years ago. So it's probably $125 a quarter or something now. So yeah, contact the Jacksonville Board, Northeast Florida Association of Realtors, NEFAR, which we are members of, and I believe they'll list it for you. I'm 95% sure that they do. If not, you may have to join as a member, but for, you know, if it costs you $300 or $400, it's probably worth it for the listing. I don't know. But that's something you can figure out. But most associations, so if you have a listing around the state, most associations will do that for you. And we don't even have to be a member. It's irrelevant that we're members there. They'll do it for anybody from around the state, as long as you are a realtor.
Can you repeat that board in Jacksonville again? NF?
Northeast Florida Association of Realtors.
Okay.
All right. Tammy.
Hey, I did that in South Florida, but I paid the money and listed it myself because I'm a control freak. But how do they work it with the photos? If they're listing it for you, you send them the photos and they put the photos in?
Yep, you do everything. You send in, you have to do the data entry sheet perfectly.
Oh,
and you send all that in, and they just fill it out just based on what you send them. They don't know it. They don't take any responsibility. They don't know anything about the house. They're not going to guess by the pictures if it has gutters or not. You have to put all that stuff on the thing. So that's that.
Okay. Thanks.
You bet. But yeah, a lot of associations will do it for you, and some won't. Some will make you join as a member and as a secondary member and do it yourself, or you can always refer it. But I know you don't want to. Any other questions or comments? We do have agents in Jacksonville if you guys ever want to refer something there, or we have agents in all over Florida. Not the Panhandle, but almost everywhere else. Any other questions or comments? All right. Hopefully you guys get something out of this goal setting session. Hopefully you guys will actually use them. Malvis, I see a raised hand. Yes.
Yes. Has anybody used Rent Spree in this group? Ryan, I'm going to have a listing pretty soon for the rental question that I asked you. The guy sent me the photos already. He has it on Zillow, but he wants me to list it, and he's willing to pay me a 1 month worth of rent. So I'll be filling out that leasing agreement, whatever, which is really great because rentals only pay $200 or $100. But anyways, how has anybody in this group used the new Rent Spree?
I have.
Okay, Jamie, I'll give you a separate poll then to
okay.
Use,
it's pretty easy, and I think it kind of guides you through.
It does? Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, you can call me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys, let's talk about rentals. So when you list something, yes. So here's the deal. Typically, it is a month's rent, right? That's typically what you put. So when you guys do it, there's an exclusive right to lease listing agreement. You'll use that. All right. Okay. Use that. And what it says on there, it'll give you the opportunity you can give as much as you want to a referring agent or a tenant rep. Okay. So it'll say that. It'll say lease referral fee or tenant placement fee or whatever it says.
Okay.
You can offer, a lot of people do like $50 for the referral or $200 for the, tenant rep or whatever. I forget the exact terminology, but you can offer as much as you want. So referral, typically they'll just say, Malvis, I'm going to send over, Bob and Susie to look at that house.
Okay.
And you give them $50. If they take them through the whole process, get the lease signed, do all the steps that you have to go through for it, then they get $200 or whatever it is, right?
Okay.
But yeah, now if you're listing out, what's the rental on this house? What's the rental?
He wants to list it at 24. I already look at comps. He wants to list it at 2,400. It's in Kissimmee.
Well, probably high because he's not getting anything. That's why he's calling you to start with.
Correct.
So $2,400. If you figure it'll rent eventually for $2,200 or something, and you want to offer, FRI, we pay $400. We pay $400 now for people. So we offer $400 for people bringing us stuff. Or if you rep one of our listings, if any of you guys want to rent our in-house listings and stuff, I'll give you the contact people. In fact, email Michelle, who's on there on that thing, and she'll send you to Ashley. Actually, I'll just put Ashley stuff in there. If you guys want to do in-house deals, they pay $400 and you get set up for them. You don't have to, you just have to show up and do them.
Yeah, I actually suggested that to him, Ryan, to have FRI manage the property for him.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I know. But he because
he wants to manage it himself. Yeah, that's fine.
Right. And he wants to do it himself.
That's perfect. You're fine. So you're going to do, you're going to list it for $2,400. You're going to assume you're going to make somewhere between $2,200 and $2,400, whatever it is. And you can give out to somebody else if you want to do that. Rakesh, I put Ashley Delgado. She's our leasing coordinator. I put her in the chat. So just email her and tell her you're interested. Tell her you're an FRA agent already and you're interested. Okay, so you're going to do that, and that's where you offer the other people something. So people are just, a lot of people only offer $50 or $100 or something because you have to offer something right now, for now, in the MLS, and they just want it to put it in there to make sure it gets in Zillow. They really don't want anybody from the MLS to help. That's why they're only offering $50 or $100, and you guys typically just pass them on. But they want it to get on Zillow and all the other websites. So that's why they do that. And now Zillow is kind of, Zillow charges you $1.50 a day or something now. For a lot of rentals, they do. Not for sales, but for rentals, they do. Any other questions or comments? So you understand that, Malvis? You're good with that?
Yes, I'm good. This will be my first lease agreement, so I'm gonna fill it out and send it to you for review, if you don't mind, to second
I don't want to review. I don't want to review your lease. I don't know about leases. That's an attorney thing. But there's leases online that you can use. Make sure you.
No, not the lease. The listing
agreement. Listing agreement. That's fine. Yes.
No, I'm going to have an attorney do the lease. I'm not going to get into that.
Yep, please do. Yeah, I don't want to review leases. Yes, listing agreement's great.
Okay.
If you guys ever need anything reviewed, just send it to me. Make sure you give it a good shot first. But I also need to know what your client, this goes for contracts too. I need to know what your goal is, what your objective is for your client. Don't just send me a contract because, yeah, it looks legal, it looks fine. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. So not you, Malvis, that's for contracts. Okay. Listing agreements, I understand what people are trying to accomplish, but on a contract can look fine and legal, but not cover what your client wants to do. So always give me a call, give me very specific information about what you're trying to accomplish if you want me to look over a contract. Any other questions or comments?
I have a question.
Yes.
I need a home warranty agent. I don't know which companies are good, or if we work with someone at the office.
We don't in particular, but they're on our. You guys know about our vendor list, right? It's on Paperless Pipeline under the reference tab. We have a approved vendor list. All vendors are approved, but these are ones that we've worked with, our agents have worked with that we like. It's your typical ones for warranties. It's Old Republic and some of the other ones. They're all on there. Just take a look at that vendor list. It's on Paperless Pipeline under the reference tab, but it's got all kinds of vendors for everything. So check that out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You bet.
And you said it's on Paperless Pipeline site?
Paperless Pipeline under the reference tab. If you go down to, I think it's under our office forms or something like miscellaneous forms or something like that. We have an Orlando vendor list and a Tampa vendor list.
Okay, because I need to probably get some signs printed out.
I don't know if that's on there, but we do it. Rakesh, don't you live in Claremont?
I'm sorry?
Don't you live in Claremont? Where do you live?
No, I'm in Oviedo.
Oviedo, okay. I'm sorry. So we get our signs made from a company in Claremont, but you can get them made wherever you want. That's just a matter of getting your art out there and doing stuff. But we do have.
And what is that company in Claremont?
Graphics Direct.
Okay. And they have our logo and everything?
They have what? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. They do all of our signs. Yeah.
Okay. And is there any kind of special rates we have negotiated with them?
Tell them you're with us. I've known them for a long, long time. So I'm sure they give us special rates.
Okay.
But if you don't like the rates, then pick somebody. But we also have, hundreds made at a time. So.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Tammy first, then Ann.
So, do you recommend talking to an attorney over using that standard lease that's in our forms for realtors for you're helping somebody get a tenant and do a lease?
It depends on if your client wants to pay them. Yeah. But there's little things to know. Like if you rent something on March 1st, you can't make it March 1st to March 1st. That's an illegal lease. It's 360. It's an extra day.
Right.
It's a year and a day,
right.
Which makes it invalid. There's little things like that you need to know. So you're not the one who messes up somebody's thing. Just let.
So even if we use that form, let an attorney review it.
Let the landlord do it. You don't do it. Get the guy the form and let the landlord do it. Let the people do it. This is between two people. You're not the management company.
Okay.
If FRI does it, we know how to do it. We know what we're doing. I say we. I don't, but their department does because they do it every day. But I don't even know enough. If you said send me, that's why Malvis said it'd send you the lease. I don't want the lease. I can't tell. So let the landlord do it and recommend that they get an attorney.
Yeah. Tammy, when I had my house rented, I did my own lease because it was my own house and it was somebody that I knew. But I told my husband after the lease had expired, or the guys, my tenants decided to move out, there was no problem. There was people that I knew. I told my husband, if we ever rent the house again, I'm not going to do it. I pay $500 for an attorney because I did call an attorney, and that specific lease in the Florida Realtor forms is very general. It doesn't cover very general.
And you wonder how it goes when you have to evict somebody. That was my concern. Yeah.
Right. Well, every bad story starts out with they were friends of mine. So, all right. So that's the answer to that, Tammy. You good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Ann.
Yeah. I have a really good land for sale. I just want to share with you guys in case you guys have any buyer in St. Cloud. This is 4.3 acre land, just 255 in St. Cloud. It's really it's close to the I mean everything going on in St. Cloud right now. It's a lot of
Has it had environmental study done on it at all?
no.
Okay.
Yeah. But
It's residential land. It's like a lot to live on.
4.3 acre.
No. It's for residential, right?
Yes, residential. Around there's is a lot of things going on around that over
Sure.
there, and St. Cloud is booming area right now.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and you shared this. I remember. I think I saw this on Facebook, or did you send it?
Yeah, I think I share on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Well,
Thank
good
you,
luck with that.
guys.
And if you guys have anybody in mind. All right. Who's excited about goals? Everybody excited about goals? They're going to do them. We're going to do them, and we're going to stick with them. Guys, every day, what do I need to do every day to reach my goal, to go forward toward my goal? It is hard. It is hard. So I do that with mine. I work out. I have to do it in the morning. So what did I have to do? I have to go to bed earlier at night, and now I have to get up earlier in the morning. And everything else, I worked out this morning. I every day, well, 6 days a week, I work out, and that is something that I do. So on Saturdays, I play golf in the mornings. I work out after going out there in 97 degrees this Saturday. I went and worked out after. It was not fun and was not easy, but it's something that I have to remind myself to do every single. It's a habit now. But you have to do it every day, guys, towards your goal, towards your goal, towards your goal. If you miss a day, you make it up. And that's what you have to do. So, you guys, I went on a cruise for 4 days, and I worked out one day out of those 4. So I had to make it up when I got back. So that's what you got to do. All right, guys. Any other questions or comments before we go? All right. Awesome. We'll see you guys next week. We've got some, I think we'll have paperwork by next week, and we'll go over some of it. If we get it early enough, I'll have the attorney in for you guys. If not, we'll have him in the following week. But obviously, definitely before the forms kick in. And we're on our way. So thank you, guys, and we'll see you real soon. Guys, I'm excited about this changes. I really am. You guys, we have license to change everything now. Like I talked about with the open houses. That's the way it is now. It's the way it is. You sign this, you're in. That's what you have to do. You guys have heard the big news. Well, here's where you got to sign. This is how it works now. This is how we get paid. It's not how we used to get paid, but it's how we get paid now. And, I'm guaranteed this 3%. We'll find it. I'm going to do my best to get it from the seller. I'm going to put it in the contract. Obviously, you guys need it to move forward and buy a house. So I'm going to fight for you guys. I'm going to do absolutely everything I can for you guys to get the best deal you can on this house and not have to worry about paying me, because we're going to get the seller to pay me. Yes, Malvis.
One last stupid question, Ryan. With the for rentals, are we allowed? I don't know this. I'm sorry. I have always, all the renters that I helped, I have always got paid whatever the listing agent had offered. Am I allowed to charge a prospective tenant to help them find a rental? Can they pay?
Malvis.
I don't know, Ryan.
What's my favorite form in the whole world?
The buyer broker agreement?
Yes. I've always loved the buyer brokerage agreement. And it has a retainer on there. Absolutely. You can charge them a retainer, non-refundable retainer, $500, $300, whatever it is you want. And you can tell them, I'm going to charge you $300 to find you something, and anything I get, I'll give back to you. Well, if I get $100, I'll give it back to you. Or maybe you get $100.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say anything, actually. But I want a $300 non-refundable retainer, and I'll help find you something, anything you guys want to look at for the next, well, you got to be careful about that. But we'll find you something that fits your criteria, right? Maybe it's refundable, maybe it's not, but on the form, it's non-refundable. And what do? They write that to FRI. We pay you out of it. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I thought it was just for sales, not rentals necessarily.
No, it's for whatever. That BBA, by the way, that is for rentals or for sales. That section, look over that compensation. Go read it and look over the compensation part, starting with the retainer. Read all that stuff. Okay. It says you can charge them whatever you want. And that's for sales too. We're going to have people charging for showing houses, which you can put right on that form. You can put, you're going to have people charging retainers for showing houses. For signing the buyer brokerage agreement with me, it's $1,000 down. Whatever. If you guys want to see a bunch of houses, I have no guarantee of getting paid. I'm making that up, but you can do whatever you want. Really, it's the Wild West now. It doesn't matter. But you guys have got to turn things toward the good. We were limited before by what you were offered by the MLS. You guys remember that? You guys saw listings that were only offering 1%, 2%, right? And what'd you say? How am I going to get paid for this? Buyer brokerage agreement. But before we weren't allowed to ask for more money or put it in the contract or anything like that, and now we can. So, the specifics of that, please don't ask me right now, but the specifics of that will be coming out about how the best way to do it, which we'll talk about with the attorney. And we'll find out before this thing, August 17th kicks in. Okay. Which may be pushed back also. We don't even know. Does that help, Malice? Absolutely. You can charge a retainer for anything you want. Okay. Guys, you can charge one for consulting fees. You guys know you can make money consulting people. I'll consult you on finding you a rental. I'll send you. I'll charge you $100 just to send you the auto emails. All right, Tammy.
I don't know if I've missed some, this along the way, but they can't advertise the amount of commission if they are paying it. So would there be some type of an agreement once you find out that the seller has agreed to pay a commission that we'd have to get signed when we show the house, or has that not been addressed, or we'll figure it out?
What do you
like if you call the agent and say, is your seller paying a commission? And they're like, yeah, we're paying 2%. So how do you guarantee that for yourself? Because you were told that the seller is going to pay 2%. Is there going to be a form that they sign agreeing to that?
No, you put it on the for now. You can put it on the contract.
Oh, it's going to go on the contract. Okay, got it.
And you can put, by the way, you can put 3%.
Yes. Okay.
Because there's no, it's not guaranteed by the MLS anymore, which we couldn't argue before. If they offer 2%, you just got 2%.
Okay.
Or
so really,
you got your buyer to pay 1%. And yes, you could have always done a buyer brokerage agreement where your buyer brokerage agreement says 3%, seller's offering 2%. This always could have done this, and then the seller asked for 1% concession because the buyer owed you. But now it's going to be very common, and now I think the form's going to be a little bit stronger. Like we talked about last week, why would, and Carissa said this was her first response when I said this. She's like, oh, well, you have to if the buyer doesn't want to pay it at closing, you have to let the buyer go and let the deal close and chase them after. I said, well, why is it any less important than the contract or the listing agreement? What if the seller didn't want to pay anybody commission? You can't get out of that, right? The title company would never let them do that. Well, why would the title company why would they ignore this other form? They can't. It's just as important. It's written by the same people who wrote the contract, same people who wrote the listing agreement. It's just as important. So I'm wondering how they're going to do that. We are, like I said before, we are going to make it enforceable by saying it's a condition of closing. We're going to put that on if it's not on their boilerplate language, it's going to be on ours in the additional terms. And you guys are going to have that on everything where this 3% or whatever you're charging them is going to be enforceable because it's going to be a condition of closing. You cannot close this deal without paying us. Okay? Because I don't want you guys crying to me about these things, because it definitely is going to happen. There's going to be buyers who, just like they do with your 350 and 175 right now, sometimes they protest that, right? And you guys are like, oh, I didn't have them sign the affiliated business disclosure that says the 350 or the 175. For those of you who don't know, maybe you're new with us, we do have affiliated business disclosure. Obviously, it's mostly for buyers, because if you have a listing, it's on the listing agreement. You put 6% plus 350 or whatever it is. But on the buyer side, to get them, it has Megan's Law, and we don't guarantee your school districts, and you need to get an inspection. And by the way, Florida Realty Investments charges $350 for the maintenance and storage of records for up to 5 years, according to Florida Statute 475. All right, so it has all that on there. So make sure you're using the affiliated business disclosure. That is also on your paperless pipeline under the reference tab. All right. Any other questions before we go? Awesome. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Go get them. You guys are doing great. Set those goals, reach those goals. Bye, guys.